Good morning. Wake up to lie after lie after lie after lie. Anyway, the Democrats' first reason for shutting down the government was health care. Health care. Oh no, not for illegals, but health care. Yeah, you're lying. Next lie, what was it? Let me think. ICE and the Border Patrol. They're breaking the Constitution. President is a king. These are all these lies to keep the government shut down. You see what you're dealing with? We're dealing with demonic entities, but you already knew that. So, I haven't really finished my coffee yet. But in my book, I talked about this specific war. And I'm going to stop talking about my book, at least on these videos, for a while. But man, God just gave me the insight. So I want you to watch this video by Jack Proziak. Jack and I both have that's not the right, certified, I don't know what the word is, red check marks. It means we really are who we are. Jack is tight with the White House, and he's interviewing General Flynn. And General Flynn is talking about the war that I wrote about 35 years ago. Get what I'm saying? When you know your past, no, let me change that. When God shows you your past, it's easy to chart your future. I know what I'm doing. So right now, it's the Democrats. In my next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about some people that left my church and some of the harm that they cause, and they don't even know it. They don't even see it. But that's not this video. Watch General Flynn, and you'll get an idea. Because if you don't get the concept, you're not going to get any of it. All right, God bless.
Well, if I see a red car, it's a red car, right? But you go, nope, it's blue, and it's moving. And it's like, no, it's a red car and it's parked. And it's actually a red car and it's parked. I'm not sure I can convince that person that says it's a blue car and it's moving. I just don't know if I can convince them. So I don't want to waste a lot of time with that person. And if there's people that are listening to them, you know, they're injured. I think that they're intellectually injured by that kind of, the word that I would capture with everything you just said is discernment. So discernment has to do with, and I'll just use my definition of what I believe it is. Discernment has to do with looking at an issue, looking at information, taking a deep breath, stepping back, and not just emotionally rolling with whatever the initial judgment is, okay? Because I just used the word judgment, which is different than discernment. So discernment, and I'll talk about this here with this crowd, you know, let's not let emotions drive us. It has driven me at times. And let's take a step back, look at the information that's being presented, make some judgments about the information and about the facts, do some research, because if you want to continue in this world where people really do believe you because you're an honest guy and you come across very honestly, then you have to drive for the truth, right? So what we want to try to do is drive ourselves closer to what the actual truth is. And do you ever find it? I don't know, but you can get really close to it. Especially, you know, another word that you just use is facts, right? And it's like, well, if I see a red car, it's a red car, right? But you go, nope, it's blue, and it's moving. And it's like, no, it's a red car and it's parked. And it's actually a red car and it's parked. I'm not sure I can convince that person that says it's a blue car and it's moving. I just don't know if I can convince them. So I don't want to waste a lot of time with that person. And if there's people that are listening to them, you know, they're injured. I think that they're intellectually injured by that kind of discernment, if that makes sense. And to me, that's part of what we have here. And we have people here that are on both sides of not necessarily the political aisle, we'll see, but we definitely have people on different issues that are on different sides for some of these, international issues. We're not here today to talk about the current events of the day. We're here to talk about understanding the future of alternative media, because as we've seen, and we're going to show a couple of charts here, we've seen the decline of corporate media, the decline of advertising for sure, and the rise of advertising and the rise of alternative media, because people know, well, that's where people are going, right? And we see, Barack Obama recently, I think in the last couple of days, he's been out there, and I think a month or so ago he was out in Stanford, if I'm not mistaken, where he's talking about we have to relook how, the information domain operates. It's like, what is that? What are you talking about here? So we do have people from Congress, a couple of people from Congress later in the afternoon. They're going to come in and talk about legislation here in the United States of America to basically protect us against censorship. And we also have somebody who's going to talk about some of the European Union type legislation that is occurring there too, because there's censorship going on all over the world. And we've got to fight that. We've got to fight that.